Well, thank you everyone for coming. This is certainly an exciting time for us as we begin our season with our first practice on Monday. I think our players are a little anxious, a little nervous about today as it is the final conditioning workout for our team. And they've already done research. Something unique to Pitt is the Cathedral of Learning, and to end our conditioning, they will run the stairs of the cathedral. So I think they're a little nervous about the last day. But we thought we would end with something significant and something special to the University of Pittsburgh. So, we will end preseason with conditioning, our final workout with practice tomorrow. We only get 2 hours a week on the court with the team, but it is an exciting time as we move forward into our second season together in the ACC. The players have been working very, very hard, and realistically, training for this season began the day after we lost our game in the ACC tournament to Wake Forest. That's when preparation for this season has started. The players, we talked about what they needed to do for us to be successful. We knew we had to get better in every aspect of our game. So the players have worked very, very hard in the spring. That carried over into the summer where we had 2 hours a week on the court with them as well. We got our freshmen here for the 6-week period, had the opportunity to work with them as well. And we feel like preseason, when they came back at the end of August to start school, preseason was very, very good. We are running a new offense. The players are buying into the concepts, trying to develop that team chemistry that we know is very, very successful. Looking at our roster, you see our 3 seniors up here. We have Cora McManus right here who will, as a senior, take on a bigger role for us as a low post presence, offensively and defensively, earning significant minutes, has had a great offseason as she has prepared for her final season with us. Next to me is Brianna Kiesel, our point guard, who, as you know, we have played through in our last season. She will have help this year with the players that we have on our roster and that she will be playing alongside with. But obviously the focal point of our offense. Bree had an interesting summer, aside from working out with us as a team on her own. She also had the opportunity to go to Vietnam and do a Coach for College program for 26 days? How many days?
Yep, 26.
26 days where she taught basketball and taught in an elementary school. Which is, you can ask her about that, but what she talks about, the enthusiasm and the passion she came back with was one of the best experiences of her life. So she's excited about her senior season moving forward. And then to the far side is Monica Wignott, who the story had just been released yesterday that Monica Wignott did play 4 years of volleyball here at Pitt, had a great career, and when I had seen her name on the roster, I read an article and had seen her name, realized that I had tried to recruit her when I was at Duquesne, and pursued her to play basketball last season, but she had an internship that wouldn't allow it to work with her schedule. So we met, we talked about it, and we are excited that she has chosen to play her 5th year with us in the basketball program and what she brings with her versatility. She's played every position on the floor prior to playing basketball with us. She's been a point guard, she's been a post, she's been a shooter, and we'll look for her to do a lot of those things with us as well. Moving on to our junior class, you see our players that are all sitting here. Unfortunately, we have 2 players in our junior class. Bubbles Anderson, who had torn her ACL last December, unfortunately has retorn that ACL in the summer through the rehab process and will more than likely miss the entire season. We'll have surgery in November on that. And then the other junior we have is Brittany Gordon, who unfortunately as well had gotten hurt this summer playing in the summer league, had shoulder surgery and will miss the majority of the season. Her timeline is not determined when she will be back sometime in January. Moving on to our sophomore class, we are a team that is not very experienced. We will be very young, and one of the players that will, aside from Brianna Kiesel, that will have the most experience playing time is in our sophomore class, and that is Chelsea Welch. So she is someone that from her experience from her freshman year, looking for her to come in and continue to grow her game since she has that experience on our team. But the other sophomore alongside of her is Fred Potvin, who we believe has had a tremendous offseason and will be a completely different player on our roster this year. Is a shooter, someone that we will depend on to stretch defenses, but has elevated her game to another level. I mean, she is a different player from last year to what she will bring to our team this year. And then that moves on to our, I'll save Jordan for last, but moves on to our freshman class. We have 3 freshmen, Yassine Diop, Stacia Carey, and Asia Bug, and they will be thrown into the fire immediately. They are 3 players that we will depend on to play right away. It's a highly ranked class that coming in, a lot of high expectations, but they just bring a lot of energy. They have added to our team chemistry. They have bought into what we are doing. The work ethic, the attitude, the mindset that they have come in with has helped change our program and has changed the culture within the locker room, within our practices, and we are very excited about what they bring and excited to see what they will look like in uniform for us. And then being shorthanded, we ended up having 2 injuries, so we ended up being down to 8 healthy players. We ended up adding another player, and ironically, my daughter is a sophomore here at Pitt, so we have added her to the roster. McConnell-Serio will be on our roster as well. So our players were a little happy that we could add more depending on need be, but right now we stand at 9 healthy players. And as we move forward, we're just very excited. I mean, there's a new energy, a new enthusiasm, and I believe our players are excited to get started on Monday.
We'll open up for questions.
Susie, I mean, just going into your second year, how much more comfortable do you feel as opposed to a year ago right now?
Well, I think there's a comfort level knowing what to expect. I just know that we have a long way to go, and when we look at our, non-conference schedule, we hope that our non-conference schedule prepares us for the ACC. We have the likes of, in our big ACC Big Ten Challenge, we play Ohio State, we have Michigan on the roster, just because it's a tough conference. And we knew we had to get better, we knew it's going to be tough, but I think knowing what to expect, there's a comfort level, but I know that every night is going to be a battle, and it's going to be a great challenge for us.
You mentioned you're running a new offense this year. I mean, what did you change and what sort of prompted that change?
I just think the concepts within the offense that we were running last year and the personnel that we have, with Cora being our one true low post player, we have with Stacia Carey, with Monica Wignot, it gives us versatility, playing in a 4-out, 1-in situation. We'll probably look to use one of our guards, either Yassine or Chelsea Welsh, could be playing the 4 spot for us. So it gives us the opportunity to open up the inside game, gives us a lot of screening action to get people open because we feel like we've improved in the area of shooting the basketball as well.
With the 2 injuries coming, has there been an increased focus in improving conditioning, like you were saying with the cathedral running?
Well, I mean, that's just the way we plan to end our conditioning. There's always an emphasis on preseason conditioning. When we get into our season, we would rather condition with the ball in our hands as opposed to putting them on the line. We try and have our strength and conditioning coach, Tim Belts, do the majority of the running in the preseason. Being short in numbers with 9 healthy players, these players have to be in shape to play 40 minutes a game. It's not our intention to play them 40 minutes a game, but by the time we tip off on November 14th, they need to be in great shape where they could, if asked, to play 40 minutes.
You mentioned, only 9 healthy players over the year. Is that something that concerns you in case, people get banged up during the season and whatnot?
I think we have a great trainer. Anne-Marie Parada does a great job of taking care of our players, keeping them healthy, staying on top of injuries, keeping them out when they need to be. We know Brianna Kiesel played a ton of minutes last year. And, if that happens, obviously monitoring her practices following games, giving days off to certain players if they needed to rest their bodies. But moving forward, right now, everyone is healthy. And if we stay that way, we're excited about what we look like and what we will look like.
Who's the 10th player for 5-on-5?
We have practice guys for that. You're not trying to get me to get in there, Bill. I'm contemplating running the cathedral steps, but I said they better have oxygen at the top if I do. But we do have practice guys that will be with us every day in practice so that we can scrimmage and go 5-on-5. Because we know that's a big part of getting us ready, and our practice guys are really good. And they know what we need in practice. They're not there to hurt them, but they challenge them, they make them better because, guys are quicker, more athletic, they're stronger, they're bigger, and they'll get us ready.
Great coach cited a new enthusiasm, a new energy. Is that something you've seen, and where does it stack up in the time that you've had so far here?
I definitely can see a new energy here. I mean, going to my senior year, I like the nucleus that we have here. I think Coach brought in some really good freshmen, and I think they're really going to help us not only score the ball, but we also have a really good team nucleus, and I think that's definitely going to help us for the season.
Brianna, you've obviously, you've been through some tough times here through your career. How much of an emphasis are you putting on ending it strong this season?
I mean, every season I go into, I look to finish strong. This just being my senior season, I think Coach did a really good job with, getting us prepared over the summer. And I'm excited to go in with a very optimistic view of this new season.
Cora, being depended on as opposed this season, what really changes did you make to your game in the off season?
I would say for big changes, we did a lot of individuals, and because this summer I was one of the only post players here that was also healthy, I did a lot of guard workouts, which was kind of weird in the beginning, but at the same time, it really helped my inside shot a little bit. I learned a little catch and sweep, which is fun and cool to use. So I can say that really was helpful for me in the long run. I think it'll be fun to use this season, too.
Just as long as she's not playing point guard.
Brianna, for the players, how much easier is it for the ones that are returning to know Susie's style and what to expect?
How much easier?
Yeah. I mean, how much more comfortable do you guys feel kind of having a year with Coach?
Oh, okay. I think that the returns that we do have, I think Coach is an awesome coach, and every year she comes in with a brand new attitude, and I think that really, comes off for us. Like, we're very positive, and I mean, Coach gives us that confidence, and we run with it.
Monica, I mean, when you got back on the basketball court, did you feel rusty at all, or what was sort of the retransition process like?
Starting off, I definitely was a little rusty, but just with the help of the coaches and the girls, it was very easy to get back into it. I still think I have a long way to go, but not as bad as I expected it to be.
Brianna, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Brianna, being that this is your final season, any personal goals that you would have for yourself, for the team?
I don't really have personal goals. I'm more team oriented, and just having us go in every game and leave it all on the court. That's really the goal, and just to have a great last season.